burning question everyone has. Bitcoin almost hit $120,000. I think we stopped slight of about 119, 118,000. Ethereum hit $3,000. XRP, Solana, everything is absolutely going wild. But it really does look like Cardano and XRP essentially stole the show when we're talking about altcoins. And there's this kind of notion that we're not necessarily going to have altcoin season, or if we do have altcoin season, it's not going to be the way it was before. And I do personally believe that, primarily because we have platforms like Pump.Fund that's come into the space, and it looks like their ICO sale that they have on their platform went pretty well. If you guys don't know what Pump.Fund is, it was one of the first meme coin platforms that allowed you to easily create meme coins. You can live stream there, all kinds of degeneracy happened there. So they went ahead, they had a sale. I believe it sold out in 12 minutes, and they raised $500 to $600 million in 12 minutes. No, I didn't participate in it. But congratulations to everybody that did. I hope you guys make a lot of money. But that's what we're seeing a lot of the liquidity go to, is going to be meme coins, primarily because most people are trading on DEXs now, not necessarily centralized exchange, and that's fine. But some of the top coins in the top really 20, they've been doing really well. They've been making a lot of moves, primarily XRP and Cardano. And of course, like HBAR and Link and a lot of the other Aave, a lot of the other stuff is doing well too. A lot of the projects in the top 100. And I told you guys, pay attention to that stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that are happening with XRP and with Cardano. And I'll give you guys kind of my personal thoughts. However, before we get started, I need you to like, comment, subscribe, of course, set alerts. And just want to remind you that there were quite a few tariffs that were announced yesterday, which was Friday, the 11th, and that could impact the market when it opens on Monday. In addition to that, we have a big crypto week. What does that mean? Well, the public servants, the Senate Banking Committee, they're all going to get together. They're going to talk about the Genius Act, Anti-CBDC Act, and the Clarity Act. Genius Act is for stable coins, Clarity Act is to give guidelines within the industry, and the Anti-CBDC Act is to stop CBDCs from happening. I personally don't believe that will happen, but that's just my business, okay? So we could be stepping into a pretty volatile week, okay? Yeah, and I know that the news doesn't move markets. Traditional news moves markets, not crypto news. The tariff news 100% moves markets. The geopolitical stuff 100% moves markets. You can take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and you can essentially line all of that up and see where a lot of the volatility is coming from. You can see it when Trump and Elon got in their little tiff, conflict announcements, those types of things, and then tariff announcements. We saw a lot of that happen as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with like XRP and Cardano, primarily because I think that they have performed pretty well. So as far as XRP goes, their ETF pumped in volume 4 to 5 times, which is a lot. And they don't have a spot ETF yet. They have a futures ETF, and the 2 times XRP is ETF, futures ETF, I believe it's futures, is up 27% since Friday and up 55% over the week. And there was about $120 million in volume, which is a lot. Also, too, the market cap went up to $170 billion last week. Right now, it's currently at around, what are we at? About 163 billion. Just kind of sitting there, and I would think it went up and it hit about $3. So there's a lot of people that were upset. They're like, price isn't appreciating. But you know, when the market turned bullish, it went ahead and appreciated, and price number ended up going up. And you guys also have to remember, not too long ago, I want to say it was in November of 2024, XRP price was what, at like 50 cents, and now it's trading above $2, which is phenomenal. If you actually zoom out and you look at the XRP chart, it's sustained pretty well. And then as far as Cardano goes, Cardano mentions interactions online hit all-time high. Total TVL for DeFi is 327 million, and $1.8 billion was added to the market cap. And price action was going pretty well there as well. So that's good, that's fine, that's exciting. Plus, Cardano has the midnight airdrop that's coming, and I believe if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Avalanche, Solana, BAT, and maybe 1 or 2 others, I forget, you qualify for the airdrop. So there's that over there. And I think that will help price do immensely well, in my personal opinion. So now, with that being said, next week will be a very big week for crypto. Very big week. We've got the tariffs. We've got the announcements with the crypto week as far as laws and regulations goes. When does the airdrop start? Unfortunately, we don't know that information yet. They went ahead and they did They are updating the community a lot. I don't know exactly what you need to do yet, but I'm pretty sure you have to actually hold these assets yourself. And that's going to be incredibly important. But again, XRP is on that list as far as I know, and that's good because, you know, all the interoperability that they want to achieve with XRP, so that makes sense. So I also think that that will help Cardano do incredibly well as far as utility goes, because it adds kind of like a little side chain that adds some privacy there. But overall, a lot of the price action right now that we're seeing is with meme coins, especially with the pump.fun ICO ending. So that's probably why you're not seeing a lot of altcoins appreciate in price yet. But again, once the Stablecoin Act or the Genius Act passes, we should see a lot more liquidity come into the market. Plus, we've got the all the crypto spot ETFs that are just kind of waiting to get approved, and that should add about 8 billion and liquidity for each ETF that is approved. So those are things that are happening. And there's a little bit of rumblings here and there about altcoin season popping off. Plus we have all these treasury companies. They're adding products like, or they're adding cryptos like Solana and Ethereum and whatnot. And there's also rumors that ADA wants to do the, or the Cardano Foundation might do the same. It's not 100% yet, but at this, yeah, and XLM has gone up really nicely. I think it was like one of the biggest gainers yesterday too. So that's good. And I don't know, all I know is that I'm very happy with the market. Things are kind of looking up, they're turning around. But again, a lot of people are really upset about the current price action and whatnot. And I understand why, because you're getting impatient, you want number to go up. But at the same time, some of this stuff is a long-term game, and it's also a critical thinking game. Do you start de-risking? Do you start pulling profits? Do you know what exactly do you do? And remember, you're managing your own portfolios. You're not having you're not having a financial advisor do it for you. So it's a little bit more complex, and that psychological aspect comes to it. But overall, the markets are doing great. I hope that we continue to climb, but at the same time, you should have a plan just in case we don't climb and then number goes back down. So fingers crossed we have a good positive week with all of the crypto legislation. A lot of the good stuff gets put through. Of course, it's not exactly what we want, but it's what we're getting. And I really do hope one day that we do get the accredited investor law abolished, because that's the name of the game. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Pay attention to altcoins. Pay attention to the opening on Sunday evening. See kind of what happens with the markets, because things are going to go absolutely crazy, I think. So hopefully we break all-time high. But also remember, there's a lot of shorts stacked at $120,000. I believe they're shorts. $120,000 Bitcoin, which means people are going to essentially anticipate for that to go down, if those, and then it might drop like crazy. So it would knock people out and then go back down. So be very careful with that. And that's why there's no need to use a lot of leverage. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of the day. Me and Lo have got a special thing planned. I'll probably do a little post for you so you guys can see what we're doing later this evening, because it's a big deal. But sending you guys love and light, and I hope you guys are doing well. Always make sure to, you know, take your profits and de-risk and practice risk management. But really big shout out to the XRP community and Cardano community, because those seem to be the leaders as far as our altcoins go. But again, we've got VET, we got HBAR, we got Polygon Matic, we've got Link, we got Aave, we've got a lot of other really great stuff there as well. And of course, BNB is doing well, really well. Goodbye.